So we're here today at Coffea with Andrew and Dan. Andrew and Dan, thank you for having me here. I'll let you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves real quick.
Cool. Hey, I'm Andrew. I am the roaster at Coffea Roasterie. That's all. The end.
I'm Dan. I kind of manage our wholesale side of things. So I get to work with other customers in outside locations and taste a lot of coffees.
Yeah, we're super excited to be here today. We're going to be doing a somewhat similar example of what a coffee cupping looks like. And you guys are going to be doing this at the event in some sort of variety. So I'm super excited to be here and be able to go through the experience with you before the event.
Cool. Yeah.
So Andrew, we want to kick us off today?
So we're doing a cupping, and it's kind of, at its most basic level, it's just a coffee tasting with a certain amount of coffee to water and a certain amount of time, and it just lets everything show in the coffee, good or bad. And that's really what we're looking at. It's like a standard way to taste coffees and communicate about the coffees. Cool. There we go. Yeah.
All right. So what is the first step in this coffee cupping process?
So before everything gets started, we weigh out a certain amount of coffee beans in each one of these bowls. And then we grind it, and we would evaluate the dry aromas. And then you add hot water on it. And you smell the wet aroma or fragrance or whatever they call it. And then you break it, clean it off. You let the coffees cool down a little just to, be able to drink it. And then you go through and taste it. It's a little different than drinking coffee normally. We'll slurp it to aerate and open it and kind of spray it across your palate. And then that's that. And you go through a couple times from hot to cool, see if the coffee gets better, gets worse, has any weird things in it. Compare and contrast. We already went through, ground all the coffees, smelled them. We already added water, broke everything, and cleaned them off. So we're almost ready to start tasting the coffee. So we'll start over here because this is where we started water, and we'll go left to right. That's just how we do it here for us, and we'll taste, and that's that.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's taste some coffee.
Let's do it. So now we're ready to taste the coffees.
All right.
So you need a spoon.
Grab my spoon.
So come on over here and grab a little bit in the spoon. Just a little bit of coffee, and then you'll take it, and you're going to slurp it and try and spray it across your tongue in one fell movement.
All right.
Without choking.
Without choking.
Yeah. Good luck.
All right.
Nailed it.
Killing it.
And then dip your spoon between.
Yep. And then we rinse just for lots of reasons. So then if this was if you were looking to buy a coffee or grade a coffee, we make our staff do this as well. We would evaluate on a score sheet out of 100 points. Anything below 80, we don't consider specialty coffee. But you would evaluate different categories like the sweetness, the body, the flavor, the aftertaste, the acidity, how balanced it is, things like that. And we'd go through for each one of those coffees and figure that out. Yeah. And then based on the score, we can, if it's really crazy coffee, we'll buy it, or it's just really good and we have it already. Or, yeah, I don't know.
So that's awesome. So you use this for your buying process to know which beans that you want to buy, and also to set a level of quality before you bring it out into the cafes.
Yep, this is we do this with all the coffees that I roast, just to make sure that I'm staying on my game and my end's being held up. And yeah, this is how we buy all our coffees. This is how I know if the coffee I'm roasting is good. This is how the staff comes in and tastes coffee to make sure they know what they're tasting and selling and telling customers. So,
right. So you guys, all Coffea coffee is rated above that 80 mark?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yes. We don't have a specific mark we shoot for. 80 and above, obviously. Mm-hmm. That's that. So then we do 2 samples from each one of our coffees. So each one of these pairs is a different coffee. And then we just have 2 cups in case one has a funky bean. And then if there was a funky bean in one cup, we would probably mark it, pull more samples from it, and taste through more of it just to make sure it was just that one cup, or whatever, maybe an anomaly. Maybe Dan stuck his finger in the cup. I don't know. Stuff like that.
So different bean, same roast.
Yep, exactly. And then this is a different coffee from a different region, different country, who knows what. Mm-hmm. We do it all blind, so there's no bias. Try and keep that as clean slate as possible, so you're just evaluating the coffee that's on the table in front of you.
So going into the second one, is there anything that I should be looking for as a difference, or am I just going into this?
I'm not going to tell you.
Okay.
That's the beauty of it. You need to just judge the coffee for what it is there.
I'm going to dive right in.
Do it.
To number 2, and I'm going to slurp this thing.
I kind of want to taste this one with you, if that's okay.
Absolutely. Cheers.
Do it.
Definitely a different flavor.
Yeah.
Good or bad?
Good.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and then so basically we just do this. We'll do, we fill this whole table up and go in circles until coffees are cold, and then we talk about it at the end, kind of calibrate and say what we liked, say what we thought, whether things were good or bad, things need to change, et cetera, and that's pretty much it.
All right. So
In a
why
nutshell.
don't we make our way through these last few,
Yeah,
and
for
then
sure.
we can kind of get your expert opinion on
Oh, jeepers.
what you were thinking.
All right.
I feel like I don't have my slurp down quite as well as you guys do.
It just happens. Yep.
I think that one's my favorite so far.
All right.
So far.
So far. Still one more coffee.
All right, I'm going into number 4.
Doing it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty all right.
Definitely got to say, I think 3 is my favorite.
3 is your favorite. Cool.
My favorite.
I can get behind that. I really like that coffee too. I'm a little biased because I obviously am not blind because we set this up for you, so I can talk about them. But I really love number 3.
Do you want to? Should we talk about them?
Yeah.
Or like,
you
what do you
want
want
to
to
go through
do?
them quick?
Yeah. I mean, we don't.
Yeah. What do you want to know? What do we want to say?
I guess what were we tasting in
In the
each one?
cups.
Yeah. I can figure out
Okay.
why did I like number 3.
I don't know why you liked it, but we can just talk about it. So number 1 is possibly my favorite coffee I've had in our cafe for a few years now. It's an Ethiopian coffee from a big estate called Dimtu Tero, and it's from the Guji region of Ethiopia. So just like lots of layered fruit, purple things, really complex and sweet and just creamy and nice and just, I want to drink that all the time. So those are things I see and taste in that. Yeah. What do you taste, Daniel?
Lots of good things.
Lots of good things.
Yeah, I feel like my palate isn't quite as refined yet. I'm starting to be able to taste the differences.
Okay.
But I feel like that one might have been the most fruity one out of the 4.
Yeah, for sure.
Am I correct with
It's
that?
definitely. I would agree. It's
Pretty heavy fruit bomb, but really complex and nuanced and subtle.
Texture is different as well. So this is an Ethiopian coffee like this is going to feel lighter. Floral notes, stuff like that. There's a Guatemalan coffee on the table as well. That feels heavier.
Yeah.
Deeper notes like chocolates and stuff like that. So
yeah.
we both kind of enjoy the
That's a really
more
good coffee.
complex. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Number 2, we jumped over to that. This is a coffee from El Salvador, actually. So
Central America definitely has some like nutty, sweet things underneath, but this is a specific variety. It's called a Pacamara. So like you have apples, you have like green, red, Honeycrisp, Pink Ladies, Galas. So those are all different varieties of apples. Coffee has the same thing. So there's like Pacamara, Bourbones, Caturas, Catuais, like tons and tons and tons of different varieties. So this is a specific single variety called Pacamara. And it's really, really tasty. I love this coffee. I like all our coffees. I'm biased though, I buy them all. So
I know the roasters.
yeah, right? Like, I know the guy, he does pretty okay. I really like this coffee. It's just interesting and unique and different, but a little sweeter, a little more mellow and balanced, but the acidity is really elegant and kind of green apples in my opinion. So that's what I taste.
Very cool. And on to number 3.
Number 3,
My favorite.
your favorite coffee. This is actually one of my favorite coffees too. I bought this. I like our coffees. Shut up. So this is a coffee we've bought for 3 years now. This is a coffee from Guatemala. It's from a farm called Santa Isabel in Coban, and it's just a crazy, unique flavor profile. And like some people really, really love it, and some people are just like, oh yeah, that's weird, but they drink it anyways because it's still really good. I really just love it. Really peachy, melony, like sweet, creamy, heavy, easy drinking, but also like nuanced and complex at the same time. So.
Yeah, so the more that you're speaking about it, the more that I just understand that goes into coffee. And I don't think that a lot of people realize that they may have the opportunity to experience something like this. They may have just been used to single origin, or even, before that, just like the typical Folgers. So, we're hoping that, someone may be able to come to the event and be able to experience something on the level that you guys are doing, like with specialty coffee. So it's pretty cool. But We got one more. So what do
Yeah.
we have over here?
This last coffee, but not least, is another washed Ethiopian coffee.
It's from a different part of Ethiopia. This is from Yirgacheffe. It's from a washing station called Reko. So it's just a big co-op washing station where people bring their cherries and sell. And the Reko co-op is really proud of what they do, and they really want to be the best in their region. And this coffee I've bought for 2 years now. This is the second year I bought it. And it's just another amazing coffee, like lots of floral aromatics, like jasmine, really peachy as it cools, really crisp and delicate. So
Absolutely. So you've talked about you've talked about coffees from all over the world, different elevations, different fruits, florals, notes. I mean, we're all over the place.
Yeah, sorry. That's a
No,
lot
no,
to unload.
I'm just, it's crazy to think about how much goes into it when, someone to go through the drive-thru at Coffea, what might actually be in their cup. They may not realize how much more than coffee it just is.
yeah, there's a fair amount of behind the scenes things even before the coffee gets to me that, I mean, people just don't know about. Like it's really interesting. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you bringing me here today. Hopefully, we can finish off these coffees off the camera.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm super excited to have you guys at the event. I'm really excited for the attendees to be able to do an experience like this. It may not be exactly like this, maybe have some variation, but they're going to be able to try variations of your coffees.
We're gonna bring some crazy bangers and some good stuff for people to try.
Bring it, anything special for the festival?
I've got a couple things in my sleeve, but I'm not gonna tell you yet.
Couple secrets for the event. So the only way to find out is to be at the event November 2nd at the the Sioux City Convention Center. Super excited to have you guys. Thanks for hanging out today.
Yeah,
Thanks, Ryan. It's gonna be a blast.